Hello, everyone. Welcome to this month's vlog. This is for November of 2025. Technically, as I record this, it is still October, but this is the video that will come out for November, so it's the November vlog. It is October 27th, and normally, at any given time of the year, I would be incredibly annoyed for the topic of conversation to be Christmas. And especially in October, because Christmas is a post-Halloween activity, and I will not be taking any arguments on the matter. However, I have had an idea, and it has invaded my brain. But first, some backstory. If you are on certain corners of the internet, you will know about this, and if not, you get to learn a new thing today. Isn't that fun? So, around the world, there's tons of different Christmas traditions, right? In the town of Gavle, Sweden, and I hope I said that right, and if I didn't, forgive me, I tried. I Googled it, I practiced, I tried. They have a tradition where they put up this friend. This is, oh, there we go, the Gavle Goat. He's adorable, and I love him. He is made out of straw, hay, what have you, so I can never go near him because my face will explode with snot, but I do love him. And for those of you who know, there's a second tradition in this town, and that is the tradition of somebody trying to set the goat on fire. This is not, like, the government tries very hard to make sure the goat is not destroyed, but the people know that arson is truly in the holiday spirit. So, you can go on the Wikipedia site. They have the whole list of every year it's been destroyed. They have, like, 24/7 live stream coverage of it now. But it's just, ever since I learned about it, I found it very charming, and I want to make something revolving around this goat. And my first thought was amigurumi, and I looked it up, and there are 2 patterns already on Ravelry, and I will probably still do that, but I had another idea that unexpectedly took me by storm. Now, this idea is inspired by Michelle Jacek, because I love her channel, I love her videos, and yeah, she inspires me. What can I say? She does a lot of holiday projects. For a while there, it was sweaters. This year, she made a black cat Halloween tote bag. So partially inspired by that, and also partially inspired by this other tote bag she made of this goose on a background of flames. I am going to make a Christmas season holiday crochet tapestry tote bag of this goat. So, I've already made the crafts. We have the one side, very happy, very holiday. Oops. And then we have this one, which just brings me a ridiculous amount of joy. Yeah, I'm very happy. I'm very excited for this project. This all came about because I pushed myself way too hard finishing that latch hook for the last video, and my wrist hurt, so I couldn't crochet because carpal tunnel's a bitch. So I was like, let me get some planning done. And then now there shall be chaos. So most of the yarn is Big Twist. I got a white and a black, because I can use these for anything. And then the rest of these were all in my stash. This is not Big Twist. I don't know what this is, but this is our gray ground color. For the fire, I've got, what we got? Varsity Red, Varsity Yellow, and good old just plain orange. I did have to go and get a color for like the goat itself, because I have every color of Big Twist value that was available when Joann's was open. And they don't have like this kind of straw color. So this is actually Loops and Threads. Really? Oh, in the color Bisque. And then this will be just like the light shadow. That's Camel from Big Twist. And then I got, for the trees, we have Forest Green and Varsity Green. And then also some chocolate brown for some dark brown shadow. And then for the sky, I have this, which was the same blue I used in the Zubat sweater I made for my friend Rachel. And this is Cornflower Blue. So, I also have a bunch of fabric I thrifted from back when I sewed things. I don't do that anymore. But I have this like perfect like Christmas green color like tablecloth, and it's got like embossed leaves on it. So I think I'm going to use that to line the inside of the bag. I don't know what I'm doing for straps yet. Haven't gotten that far. Mostly it's just been me looking at this and giggling with manic glee because I love him. And yeah. So I was up till 10 p.m. last night, but as you can see, totally worth it. It looks so freaking good. So cute. It needs to be blocked and steamed for sure. But yeah, I did not expect to do a whole panel in one day. So the other panel, the happy panel, will take more than one day, just because there's a lot of color changes. But yes, I'm very pleased with this. Very, very pleased. I do still have to weave in all the ends on the other side, but I'll deal with that later. I started that. Hello, everyone. Update on the second tapestry. Get your butt out of there. So we have legs. We have some trees. It is 11:30 in the morning when two things. One, when I started the other half, this half, I started earlier in the day, but also by 11:30, I was like half done. So I knew this one was going to take longer because there's more colors, but I will say, can you be useful because I don't have 3 arms? They are lining up. Come on. Like lengthwise. Just put it over my face. There we go. So the pictures do not line up 1-to-1 as far as where he's standing, just because I wanted the picture. Wow. Don't mind that. Instead of making sure he was centered in most. Instead of making sure he was centered in both graphs, I made it so that the image felt balanced on both graphs, because the fire on this one ended up, coming off the back there, and he's tall, and it whereas this one, he doesn't have as much above him happening. So I did, I have no one but myself to blame. I made this graph, but it's been these two areas here on the side where the fence kind of meets the trees. Because the thing with this is, if you look at actual pictures of the Gavle goat in Gavle, he's in the middle of Gavle. He's in the middle of the city. But, I'm trying to get the Christmas feel, so I kind of made my own rules, but I feel like the fence being there is an important part of the whole. We put up a goat. We wish to burn the goat tension that surrounds said goat. So the fence was necessary, but conveying 3D space in crochet, in tapestry crochet specifically, is difficult. I will say, I am very happy with this color. It was worth the trip to Michael's to find it, because it looks like the right color. And I will probably use the rest of the skein to make the amigurumi of this goat that I would like to make. This one is not going to get done in one day. It's just not. But yeah, just wanted to do an update. I'm going to go find something to eat for lunch, because the third reason this is taking so long is my wrist still hurts. And I do have... Where did it go? Ah, there it is. I have been wearing my wrist brace, but it's very hard to crochet with it on. So I've been taking breaks and all that good stuff. Yesterday I streamed and I worked on this tank top. And I streamed for like 2 hours, and that was about as much crochet as I could handle. And then yesterday I worked on is not perhaps the correct. I organized things. I rearranged some things. I cleaned up some things like that. And just, maintenance. I will also, once I am done making these, and because I, specifically the spot right here, I had to change 6 times because I was looking at it and I'm like, that's not right. And so I had to change, because the, this dark green, this dark brown, and the black all together in the same area, even though I have my computer settings as good as I can and all that stuff, I cannot fix the settings that are my eyeballs. And they're not good, especially with colors that are very close together. So I had to go into the graph, and I made them this one's orange, this one's blue, this one's yellow, and very disparate ones. And then I was like, okay, now I can see what I got. Let me adjust this a little better. And then, so that would be the reason I haven't published the graphs yet. But I will have the graphs up on my Ko-fi, whatever it's called, when this video goes up. So if you guys also want to make this bag, you totally can. Or if you want to make it a pillowcase, or if you just want to hang it on the wall, I don't care. But yeah, we'll be doing that. I don't think I have any other updates. I did have to grab one more color of yarn that I forgot, because I need a shadow for the red. So this is deep red. And then the other thing is that this yarn and the gray yarn I used are just 4-weight yarn is on a slider scale of what qualifies as 4-weight. This is on the fatter end. These, I would say, the big twists I would put firmly in the middle. And then there are some that are just trying to think, because I have in my head the it might be loops and thread. It's like, there are some spots on it where it's really thin, and then some spots that are closer to like regular 4-weight yarn, but it's usually variegated. And it says it's acrylic, but it doesn't look like this kind of acrylic. It's really soft and fuzzy. That stuff is technically 4-weight yarn, but I'd say it's closer to 3-weight yarn. So, you know, I have to block this one anyway. I'll have to block the other one too and just steam it. And, you know, we'll do our best. I'm still like, this brings me great joy. And I'm so like, look at how good that fire looks. Like, I'm not an expert by any means. I haven't like really done drawing seriously in probably 5 years, if not longer. College, man. College kills lots of hobbies. I don't read anymore because of college either. But I'm really happy with how that one turned out. I'm really happy with how this one is starting. These greens, very much. I mean, look at that. That's just... It's holiday time. I'm not going to sing Christmas carols because A, I can't sing, and B, no. Just no. But yeah, I'm really happy with how this is turning out. I am going to go have lunch. I might, like, my ultimate goal for today would be to get halfway on this, and I don't even know if that'll happen. Not rushing this half because it's just... The thing with that half that was really tedious is I put in a lot of, like, I know in cross stitch they're called confetti stitches, where you just have like one stitch of one color, completely, utterly disconnected from anything else. But it works for the little, like, embers coming off fire, and it looked right. That's why that one was tedious. This one is tedious because there's like 19 balls of yarn happening at once. I digress. Lunchtime. And, yeah. You will probably, I don't know. We'll see how I feel. I, might update you before this panel is done again. I might not. Yeah. All right. Hello, everyone. You know how I made a big deal of saying how I wasn't going to get the panel done today? Don't ask me. Don't ask me what happens. Oh, he's so cute. Oh, yeah. So, we won't talk about that. But I did it. I don't know, like, they have the opposite effect. This one, until like here, this is where all of the annoying hard work is, and then once you get to the snow, it's like 3 colors, and it's really quick and fast. This one, you started out really simple, and the further up it got, the more complicated it got. So like this one, I blasted through till about here, and then this other half took forever. And this one, I had the complete opposite experience. They both desperately need to be blocked because they're both very wibbly wobbly, but they are roughly the same size, which is fantastic. God, what a concept. You're like, I have an idea and I'm gonna do this thing, and then you do it and it's like even better than what was in your head. This is even better than what was in my head. I will deal with the ends in the morning because I am late tired. But it is 8:30, so not only did I start that one later than I started the other one, I finished it earlier than I finished the other one. I don't know what happened. It felt like it was taking way longer when I started it. And then we got to the sky, and it was just like, we zoom in. So yeah. All right, hello. I dealt with this issue But as you can see, all of the yellow ones are still there because they're very short. So I am lining this bag, and I know this is not the recommended methodology, but I have tied all of these in knots, and I have some fabric glue, and we just gonna, because I cut them too short, and that's my fault, but also they're in there now, so we're gonna do that. It's Thursday, so it's grocery shopping day. Acquired this, which is a 20-inch long zipper, and I acquired this, which is a 5-foot by 1-inch roll of strapping. So we'll see between now and the end of November when I feel like sewing. In the meantime, I am just gonna put some glue on the knots of this yellow yarn. And then once the glue dries, I will be blocking both sides of this. And then, yeah, like I said, we'll see. Because, like, lining this bag is not going to take me very long. 3 hours, maybe? It's about how long it took me to line that other bag. That other bag was huge. And also, I'm not, with that other bag, I made it double-walled so that if it peeked through, you wouldn't see the back nasty side of the cotton print. I'm not doing that this time. This is single crochet. If you can see through it, I got bigger issues happening. So, and I did consider running some lights through here instead of doing like the yellow stitches. But given my general feeling toward the holiday seasons, specifically in Christmas, it didn't seem worth it for the amount of money to buy a strip of lights. So I'm not doing that. And we're just gonna go with this. I just had like a string of yellow from this that, like, you know, I had cut off, and instead of chucking it in the bucket here, I used it for this, but like pre-cut it into exactly how many I knew I'd need, and they were perhaps a little short. And that's on me. But, you know, we're just gonna do what we can about it now. So, fingers crossed that despite the fact it is not recommended, the knot and glue method works for us this once. Yeah. So, he looks so good. He looks so good. I'm gonna let that glue dry. I mean, this one also turned out really well, but he is on fire. That's probably not the best state. Also, I am 90% through it. Complicated Knots put out a new video today where she makes a scarecrow. And with that scarecrow, she makes a tiny little crow. Fun fact about the Gavle Goat is that just because the preferred method of destruction for him is fire, does not mean that that's always what happened. In 2023, the jackdaws, which are a member of the crow family in that region of Sweden, went, "Hey guys, look, the humans put a big ass pile of straw in the middle of the city." And they plucked the goat for their nests. So I think when I make my little Ami goat, I will be making this crow from her scarecrow pattern to go with it, because I looked up pictures of jackdaws and they're like, if this is black, they're like charcoal, like almost black, but not quite, just off black. So I think I may make a little one of those to go with the Ami version of this goat I will end up making, because I will end up making an Ami version of this goat. I know I will. And that story tickles me. The Corvid family of birds gets up to some stuff that is, in my opinion, generally amusing. So, yeah, I am still impressed at myself and also at my wrist that I finished that other panel yesterday. So, this project is going well, and I'm very happy with it so far. All right, hello, happy Halloween. I'm here to update you on my Christmas project, but happy Halloween. I did end up pinning out the 2 pieces for the bag yesterday, and then this morning I hit them with the steamer. So we're gonna let them sit for the rest of the day, and I'll probably take them out tomorrow. As I said, I think I mentioned anyway in the clip yesterday, Complicated Knots put out a scarecrow pattern, and with that scarecrow pattern came a little crow. So I made one to be a jackdaw, and I am going to add, helps if he's in camera, like right about there on his back. I'm going to add a keychain, and we're going to add him to the bag because he is a little large in size to my goat friend here. And as you can see, my goat friend is hornless at the moment. Oh, that one's really crooked. Oopsie. He looks better when he's standing. They look less crooked when he's standing. They're just chains that I sewed on because I have ribbon, but the red ribbon I have is like, it's not the red. It's not this red. It's not Christmas red. This is a strip that is just 3 single crochets wide, and then again, chain. His little beard, and then again, I'm going to add his horns. The reason I have not is because I'm going to use a I-cord for his horns. I don't want to make that by hand. So I ordered one of them I-cord things with 3 hooks on them. So we'll whip a couple of those up, and then I'll have that if I need it for anything else. And I'm still debating whether or not I will end up adding wire in these horns or not. We'll see. I did base most of this guy off of a pattern that is on Ravelry. It's by J. Rose. I will link it below. But the things I changed, my tail is different. I did the head a little different, and I am kind of doing my own thing for the horns. I also did these stripes different. She just embroiders them on, but because they're so chunky, I just felt like chains would be perfect for them. But the other thing I wanted to mention is I have a bunch of these. They're just decorative wood pieces, and I got them in a bag in a thrift store with a bunch of wood stuff in it. But they are inside here to make sure that he's nice and flat and barrel shaped. And he is. He's very barrel shaped. But yeah, he'll get horns tomorrow. I don't know when I'm doing the sewing. I'm not feeling it at the moment. I'm actually going to go play video games. Bye. Hello, everyone. Just a quick update for today. I sewed it together. It's a bag. I mean, I could stuff it and turn it into a pillow too, but meh. Heck. I'm so happy with how this turned out. It's just, sometimes you have a picture in your head and you make it and it's like close enough, and then sometimes you have a picture in your head and you make it and it's so much better than what was in your head. Now I have to line this, which means I have to sew, which I'm just, it's not happening. That's that. I also have this guy. I believe I've showed him already. He is hornless, and let us consult. My cork maker should be here between 3:45 and 6:45, so that's probably happening tomorrow too. I also have my little jackdaw that I am going to make as a keychain to go. I'm gonna probably have him hanging on this side because, yeah. But I bought some because I could put together stuff and make a keychain, but I was on Amazon and buy stuff anyway, so I just got some actual keychain chain, and we will be putting that together. But yeah, and for this guy's tiny little feetsies that I added, they're just, it's knots. I tied a couple knots because he's so small, and I was gonna make them orange, but you know, I did my research, I did my Googles, and their feet are like black gray, like the rest of them. So I think I might add a little glue in there though. But yeah, that's the update on that. That's all I got. I have made progress on the tank top. I'm going to go up to row 50 and then try and add the straps. Because I have my other one that I made, the green and teal one. The teal and purple one, maybe. Teal and purple and white one. Just as like a measurement reference. So that's that. I'm going to go ahead and get this back in here. And then I'm just gonna, this is Fabric Fuse Quick Bond fabric adhesive, and I've used it on several crochet projects now, including the Gengar Granny Square hoodie I made, because I used this to glue fabric backing onto the back, because guess what? The back of that tapestry looks like the back of these tapestries, where there's mess happening, which is why we're lining the back. But, yeah, and between that and the amigurumi I made, I used like a third of this. I don't know what else I'm ever going to use this for, but we'll figure it out. Find out. I'm sure it'll come up and be useful. I needed to do this. Get in there. And come on, make sure. This is just 2 pieces of thread latch hooked, not thread, but yarn latch hooked around each other. And I'm just gonna put a bunch of glue on that knot and pull it through, and then just also add a little glue on this side. This stuff does dry like clear, so not too worried if it's visible. I just don't accidentally want to yank that out. So got that done. And we'll get horns on our 3D goat friend here. What's the I-cord maker? I don't want to make a 3 single crochet 2. Do you know why? Because it sucks. That's why. So they make tools for that. We're going to use the tools for that. I'm going to let this guy dry. And yeah, that's my update for today. Happy November. It is finally seasonally appropriate for me to be working on these things. Yeah. That is my update for you all. Bye. Right. Hello. We got the goods. And we doing the thing. We halfway done with the thing, actually. I just wanted to show you before I got any further. I do have some wire, and it is bent up, and then there's just a straight piece, and then the same piece on this side. So I'm gonna kind of sew it down as we go, you know, but did make one I-cord. It's just a chain. That's all we need. So that's how he's looking. His beard needs to just behave, and we'll be good. I also got stuff in. So this guy is now a little keychain. Really? Spin. Look at them, not me. So that's our little jackdaw. And yeah, progress continues. I did, I think I showed you guys this, but I do have this all sewn together. Haven't lined it yet. We're getting there. Once I finish this guy, it's probably the next step. I am almost to row 50 on that purple tank top I was working on. I might go to 55. I have 3 full skeins of yarn left, so I'm going to have more than enough to finish it. It's just a matter of what I feel like doing at the moment, really. So, yeah, just wanted to get in a quick shot before I cover up this other bit of wire. And like, this is like floral wire. It bends so easy. It's just there to shape it, to give it something. Hello. It is almost 2 p.m. on the 3rd of November, and I have finished my Christmas projects. Ta-da! He's so cute. I did, his head and neck ended up a little round because when I was doing them, I was being lazy and I didn't want to make a separate head piece and neck piece. So he's a little curved like here, and I kind of tried to hide it with the horns. And then like I tried to fix his face, but it's still a little off. Just kind of squish him up a bit. But all in all, he's cute. This has been on like my mental to-do list to make myself one of these for probably 5 years. I wasn't initially going to make it with crochet because I didn't crochet 5 years ago. But I've always wanted my own little Yule goat. I just truly everything about him is just charming as hell to me. And yeah, so happy I can finally say I did it. And not only did I do what I've been wanting to do for 5 years, I made a whole freaking bag. And I got this little keychain, which, as we've discussed, is a jackdaw from 2023 when they ate the goat. And not only do I have these nice strap handles, we got zipper action, baby. And then I have this beautiful Christmassy green, kind of damask. I think that's what it's called. Damask pattern. It was a tablecloth. It was a tablecloth. And I thought it was a smaller, like, circle tablecloth. It's like a big tablecloth. So I got a lot of that fabric left. But yeah, it's, the only thing I messed up is you can see the inside of the zipper. That should be between the 2 layers. But, it's been a minute since I put a zipper in anything. I think the last thing I put a zipper in was my bean bag, which is buried under all those blankets. Like, that's the last thing I put a zipper in, and I think I made that like 3 or 4 years ago. So it works as a zipper, and I don't like. It's for me. If I were selling it, maybe different, but it's for me. So, yeah, this is going to be my Christmas bag of goodies for the year. And again, friend. I fucked up. So on this, as I'm going, I am turning my work every row. I don't know if you can see it, but there's like ridges because I'm doing half double crochet. So I was on row 49 of what I was hoping was going to be 50 rows total, based on measuring off of the other tank top. But now we're back on row 29 because I did not turn, so I had 2 ridges back to back. And would anybody but me notice? No. But I frogged it anyway. So just thought I'd update y'all. This is why. It's because as I sit here, I have the glowing window box shining on my work instead of being, under there with everything closed off and dark because I'm playing video games and I'm just, crocheting during the cutscenes. Like, this is how we get fuck ups. This is how we end up there. And most of the time, I don't care. But with this one, like, because here's the thing. I had fucked up row 45 because I counted that row to make sure I had the right amount of stitches. I was more focused on counting. So I also did those rows 44 and 45 in the same direction. So I'd already frogged. And then I took it outside, and as I was frogging it, I'm like, wait, there's one like halfway down. Am I really going to frog back that? Yeah, I am. And I did. So, I mean, like, on the one hand, would anybody but me have noticed? No. But on the other hand, it's like not finished off or anything. Why not? Like, that's the main reason I haven't frogged that other Premier hipster cotton tank top I tried to make that I didn't like how it worked up. It's because, like, I cut a bunch of things and, like, added edging and, like, I don't want to deal with that. That's why I haven't touched that one yet. I think about it every now and then, but I haven't gotten it for this is just tube in progress. And tube in progress is nice and easy to frog. So yeah, it's my update. I screwed up, ripped out 20 rows. So on the upside, the ridges make it really easy to count. It's just that I gotta count on the odds instead of evens. And I don't know why my brain just it doesn't like 7. So I'll be like 1, 3, 5, 9, 11, 13, 15, 19. It's like, no, there's a whole nother number in there. We gotta go back. So yeah. despite challenges, we prevail. So it's like noon on Wednesday, the 5th. So I just finished this. This is 135 half double crochets around, 55 rows up to where the armpit is, and then just kind of still freehanding and trying to kind of find the vibe. I think I overcorrected a little bit from the other one. The puckering that I have on the other one isn't as bad on this one, so there's a lesson learned. But I do think the sleeves could be out. Like, I think my last row of decreases was perhaps not the most necessary thing. Regardless, these are going to stretch out just a little bit because they are a little tight at the moment, but like 2-3 washes, she's going to be perfect. I love the way this yarn turned out. I super happy with it. Sorry about that. We finally get to have all the windows open. As you can see, the fan happening in the window there, which means my door just likes to do whatever it wants. But, yeah, super comfy, like, lots of space, but, like, she lays nice. She's comfy. Again, I think the armholes, like, if I were to change one thing on this, if I, like, had to leave these here, I would undo the seams and add, like, 2 rows of length to the straps on either side. But again, it is gonna stretch down, and once it stretches, it's gonna stay there, so I'm not that worried about it. Of the 9 skeins I started with, I have 1 full one, and then whatever this is, because it's not, it came packaged as 1 skein, but it's not, I don't know what it is, because it's not, like, I had four ends coming out of this skein, and I needed it for one row on here, and then both rows over here. So it's done. So that's 2 cotton tank tops I now have. Yeah, I feel like we are making great progress in life. I also, at the behest of someone in the Complicated Knots Discord, did make a keychain version of our little goat friend. He is the exact same pattern I followed for the big one. I just didn't double strand the yarn this time. Woo. His horns are just chains, and then, like, this is a chain, and all of the rest of this is embroidery, where I just would do the stitches, and then I whip stitched around the stitches to make them look nice and solid. But yeah, keychain version of our goat friend. He does have his little tail too. So, 2 things. 1, the Xfinity guy was just here. Hopefully, starting today, the internet should be better. So I should be able to stream better. I am hoping. I don't know if there's ever been any issues on the other side, but on my side, anytime I stream, YouTube is like, listen, your internet is, can we pick this up? So we'll see what happens. Probably try and stream on Tuesday. It is Thursday the 6th. Secondly, I had a skein and a half left over from this. Also, I've been wearing this thing all day. It's so comfy. Again, these have stretched out a little bit, so they, like, sit nice, and I have, you know, and as it washes and stuff too, it'll kind of settle in better, but very comfy. but I had a skein and most of the second skein, so essentially 2 skeins left. I also had all the leftover rainbow colors from my t-shirt I made that happened to match the, like, 2 of these threads are dark purple, and then the third one's like rainbow ombre, you know? So with them, I made a bag. And what I started with, this part only is, you can kind of see it in the texture, but this is a granny square. The other side's a granny square. And then these 2 corners are granny squares to make like a fanny pack. And I'll link the tutorial the link will have like this shape, and then their solid granny squares that the person used to make their fanny pack. I can tell you the name here. Give me a second. Oh yeah, at Crochet. So ACCRO Shay. So like acro crochet, but at Crochet. And theirs are, it's just 4 granny squares. You have the 2 squares in the middle, and then the 2 corners are granny squares as well. They're just folded into little triangles. So this is a granny square. See? Granny square. But I had that and pretty much a skein left of the purple yarn. Close to a skein left. So I had dinner and I had to think about it, and it was like, I have all that rainbow yarn from my t-shirt that might match. So I grabbed it and I brought it in here, and I was like, oh hell yeah. And then I did, that's the back side. That, can you tell? Can you tell where my joint is? That's the body side of the bag. And it's hard to show this because I'm wearing the shirt that these scraps are from. One of these scraps are from. I do have some of the spare D-rings that I thrifted on here. And I am going to add some charms to this. I have 2 options. I have disco balls, which this was the original plan, because these are so sparkly, so shiny, and like it's actually like these actually little mirror, so very sparkly, very nice. Option 2, and I have 2 sets of these, so 8 total. They're gummy bears. They're so cute. And I feel like these match really well as well. So, I asked a couple Discord groups I'm in, put up a poll, said, tell me the things, and I did that right before lunch, and I set it for 8 hours. So, I will have an answer in 4 hours, because it's been longer than I thought it was since lunch. On the one, I have 21 votes, and on the other, I have 6. And at this moment in time, Gummy Bears is winning very slightly. So, Gummy Bears did win as far as the charms go. I also did go in with some embroidery thread and just sew around the D-rings so that they're not sliding around and doing their sassy bullshit they like to do, where they just go whichever way, even though they're very clearly supposed to go this way. But we have our gummy bears on there. I think they look adorable. Which means we do still have our disco balls, and a friend of mine has proposed snail bag with the disco balls, and I am tempted. I'm still pondering. I might look up a pattern But that is the update on that. So that's done. I started something. I'm going to show it to you. I'm probably going to frog it. I did, because I showed you guys this yarn, I believe, at one point. This is Paint Party. I love this yarn, and I have 5 of these. And I was thinking I was going to do a ripple stitch sweater with it. And it's just, I don't know if you can see it, but like, I can see the texture of the ripple, but I want like the color of the yarn to also give a ripple, and it's too splotchy for that. It's not gonna give me that. So I'm going to frog this and do something else with this yarn. I did go through my yarn. I think I have 2. I know I have 2 options that would be really good. I just don't know that I want to make this sweater with either of them. I have this yarn that I used to make this sweater, because I bought like 10 skeins of it, and I think I used 3 to make this sweater. And I really need to get back to wearing this because I love this thing. It's so freaking cute. Look at me. Look at me. So cute. Anyway, I have this yarn, which, as we can see, does stripe very nicely. I also have 3 skeins of this yarn, which also stripes nicely. So, I don't know. I'm not really feeling either one. So that project idea might have to go sit on the back burner for a little bit. Oh, I was cold. All right. Hello, everyone. So I did end up frogging the ripple stitch project I had started with this yarn. I like this yarn. Here's the thing. I wanted a ripple project where you could see the ripple, not just from the texture, but like from the patterning of the yarn. And I have 2 yarns that would do that, but I have no desire to make a sweater with either of those yarns. And I didn't want to deal with 800 ends, but, so be it. So I'm dealing with 800 ends, kind of. This yarn is Red Heart Super Saver. This is the colorway Wildflower. I have this skein, a ball, and then 4 full skeins of this. And then the dark blue color is also Red Heart. It's Royal. And I don't know. I'm just not. It's cute. I don't know. Like, I work on it for a while, and I look at it, and I'm like, meh. And then I come back after I take a break, and I'm like, oh, it's looking really good. It's so cute. Um, but so this is where I'm at. I am doing. I started with the blue. Like, hey, there we go. Started with the blue. I did 2 rows of the variegated blue, 3 rows, 2 rows, 3 rows, 2 rows, and I'm thinking, because I'm gonna have to add shoulders. Thinking with how it's going that I'll probably do 4 repeats of the 3-row chunks, and I just wanted to do something a little less uniform. I do like both of these yarns. I talk about it mostly in my making a birthday gift blanket video, which is like the second video on this channel. But I made a planned cooling blanket with these 2 yarns. I'd show it to you, but it's folded way up in the closet. I don't want to get it out right now. But I can stick a picture right here. And I bought all this yarn for that. And I got to the point where I had, 5.5 skeins left. And I was like, it's big enough. I'm done. And it's big enough. It's more than big enough. So I think what happened is I made like the first chunk, and then based on that first chunk, I did some math and bought yarn. And I bought all the yarn together because dye lots are important. That's correct. So I just have a bunch of extra yarn. But I do like it. I am not a Christmas person at all. I never have been. I am a Halloween person. I mean, we got all the spooky things and the pumpkins and the spooky things, and I'm a Halloween person. Only thing happening up here right now is Christmas. I don't understand it. So like everything I look at that's not red, white, and green, my brain's just like, meh. And I don't want to make a bunch of Christmas stuff because I don't like Christmas. I don't know. I don't know where my brain's at. I don't know what it's doing. But I am sitting here and I'm looking at this and I am having a thought. The zipper. And here is my thought. Passionate Kelsey. Okay. One of Passionate Kelsey's friends made a netting pattern for a pullover sweater, and it's got like a zip down the middle. I'll make this the back panel and under, because this is probably a little long, because if I put this at my collar, I know you can't see this, but this is like right above my belly button. So that's perhaps a bit long, but I'm just thinking, if I do it down to here, the other alternative is I don't put the zipper in. Oh. In case you're wondering how I make decisions on what I'm going to do with projects, this is it. I ADHD my way through this shit every time. So, yes, I'm going to finish this back panel, and then maybe we'll do some fun stuff. And that's it. That'll be exciting. Alright, progress on the Ripple project. So I finished the back panel. We ended up with 5 of these, I think. Hold on. Yeah, so we have 5 sections of the 3 rows of the variegated yarn. And then on the squaring off portion here, I just did, where we had been doing decreases, I did increases. Where we've been doing increases, I did decreases. And then I just did a row straight across the double crochet. And we shall join that then with the front piece. And kind of the vibe I'm going for is like, I'll try and put it in a picture, but like the quarter zip, like fleece. Or like that it's like fleecy, or like the back of those blankets, the white stuff that gets like all matted into balls, like that texture. Like 3/4 zip, it'd have like the little pop-up collar, and then, hello everyone. As you can see, I have the front and the back piece together. Not gonna lie, as I was working on this, I had doubts, but now I can see the vision. I feel the vibe. We're gonna get a zipper into here. I'm gonna sew this together and then add the sleeves on. But I do like how this is turning out. Again, I had my doubts. I was kind of like, I think this will work out. I wasn't seeing the vision. Now I am seeing the vision. Whatever. So yeah, we're gonna sew the sides up. I was worried it was gonna be a little big, and it is. I mean, it is. But go, like, Google 90s polar fleece. They're all like big. Granted, all the models are big, but I digress. I like it. I like it. And that is the only thing that matters. I have been sewing all day. I sewed in all the ends. There's no ends in here. Sewed in all the ends on the sleeves. I sewed in all the ends here. We've done a row of single crochet and installed a zipper, which works beautifully. I will never, ever have it up here. Probably be like this. So now we just need sleeves, because this is not a sweater if it don't have sleeves. But yeah, I'm debating, because I'm going like polar fleece vibes more than sweater, and like the ones I've looked up and like in my memory, like it's just, there's not, really a ribbing down there. So I think we're gonna leave it as is, because it kind of puckers in anyway with the chain. Door, window, wind. Sorry about the noise. But yeah, this is where we're at. Just show you again. We got a nice zip. And then, like I said, this around here is all single crochet. And then around the neckline here is all double crochet. Just to kind of keep the pattern going. And like I said, I'll never have that fully zipped. So, I do want to put like a little clasp up here, because I forgot to fold the top of this over. I could do that. Double crochet. I don't want to. This is where we're at. It's like a really cute top too. Like if you wanted to stop here and just have like an oversized t-shirt, totally valid. Not the vibe. I would like to join on to one of these blue ones and then work in the round, so that the goes the same way. I did the same thing on my zigzag sweater, because it's a personal pet peeve of mine, and it drives me insane, because all these zigzags are going this way and it's going this way, and then most people make the purples go this way when they make the camel, because they start at the top and then and I get it. It drives me cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. So I'm not gonna do it. Progress report. Alright, hello everyone. I just wanted to show the sleeve panel I made and how it works with front and back panels. So I essentially made the sleeves so that the top and bottom here attach as like a continuation of the shoulder seam that we already have from attaching the front and back panels. So followed the pattern, 2 repeats, 3 repeats, 2 repeats, and then when I sewed up the front and back panels in this stripe that is 3 repeats wide, I sewed halfway up so that when we go to attach it, this stripe of 3 will fit right in there, a nice little armpit. So I'm going to go ahead, clip this on, and right down here in the corner you can see Cinder's butt as he tries to get comfortable in his new place to sleep, because I am sitting on my beanbag now, because I went to sit down on my chair yesterday. Butt frame bracket that connects the butt frame to like the leg, completely detached. And I can't do anything about that. So I have reacquired the beanbag for me. And now the cat is sad because he no longer has his super extra jumbo large cat bag. But I'm gonna get this clipped on for you guys. Kind of see how I did this. And the reason I did it this way is because then I could start this with a foundation chain double crochet, which means that both sides are nice and stretchy, and you don't get this effect that is on the bottom of the shirt where the chain is like really stiff. All right. And I'm just going to clip it together on the blue stripes because they are an excellent landmark. To make sure everything's nice and lined up. And when I weave these ends in, I will kind of weave them through here and tie a small knot, and then I also go through and, actually stitch the two pieces together with some yarn. And then here is our armpit. Just gonna, like I said, do the blue stripes. And you can see once I sew that together, it matches up pretty well. And if you ask, well, how did you figure that out? How did you come to that conclusion? I tried it and it worked. I have no great depth of wisdom, except I tried it and it worked out for me. And lines up real nice. And then everything's the same width, and then when you sew this together, it'll look just like the shoulder seam. And I can show you that because I already have the other sleeve on. So we come over here, other sleeve, and I turn this inside out so you can see it right side out. This is what it looks like. The thing is, I tried to connect it here where the peak or valley would be. So this stops on the repeat I have is 2 increases, 3 double crochets, 2 decreases, 3 double crochets, 2 increases, etc., etc. So on this side it stops at 3, and then here I kind of had to figure out how to do the increase and line it up, and it's not perfect, but it's not the worst. But you can see here along the shoulder seam that it just it looks the same all the way down. So we did get that. And I am going to put a cuff on this. Just haven't gotten there yet, because I want to get the other sleeve on. But I just wanted to show y'all kind of how I constructed that, because I don't think I could have explained it without the fish. Ta-da! So, I know I said I was going to add cuffs. I don't think I'm going to add cuffs. I'm going to go around this with blue, I think, and just cinch it in one row of decreases. But honestly, like, I don't think it even needs cuffs, like, aesthetically. This is the Polar Fleece 5. It's the shape, it's right. For a project that started out with me being incredibly frustrated and upset that the yarn I wanted to use wasn't doing what I wanted it to do, and having to pivot to something where I had to do yarn fuzz, where I had to do multiple rows and weave in ends, was not perhaps the most motivating way to start this project, but I think it's perfect. It's, like I said, I'm gonna cinch these in, give you an update on that. But yeah, no, I think it's perfect. What the fuck are you doing? I get out of the beanbag, and he's like, "Oh, hey, my bed. I can have that." Sir. All right, so that took like minutes. I went around twice and just brought these into 18th single crochet. They're really long, so I can just, which is how I prefer my sleeves to be anyway. But even if I zip this all the way up, it's just, it 100% has the Polar Fleece vibe that I was aiming for, so I'm calling it a win. Does it need to be completely and utterly soaked in vinegar because it's red heart yarn, so you're scratching uncomfortable? Perhaps. But we have that power. Also, it matches my hair, and I don't know what my hair is doing. I just live here, and it does what it wants, okay? We're not going to talk about that. So, as I may have mentioned, my chair broke. I am now in beanbag, which is fine-ish. I was, you know, those pillows that, like, have arms, so it's kind of like a top half of a chair. Sorry, Cinder. So it's got like the back and it's got little arms. I used to have one. Yeah, I think I was in middle school when I got it, and I threw it away like 2 years ago because I just quite literally was falling apart at the seams. Okay, I'm a bed goblin. I am a nester. You know, like pulled out all my pillows to kind of make this more comfortable. And I was looking. Quit beating me with your tail, then. I was looking for a pattern for that kind of pillow. But while I was looking at the pillows available, I came across a couple star pillows, sun pillows, moon pillows, and I have this guy. And he is big boy. And the plan was to make a second star pillow, but I think I'm going to make a sun and moon pillow to go with him. I have two big skeins of this, and this is the Lion brand yarn in Hometown. This is Madison Mustard. And I have another project made with this. My mom made a blanket for me. It's right here. It's like navy blue. And this color, I don't remember the exact color, but the city color, because it's also a Hometown yarn, is Milwaukee. So the two colors I've used from this happen to be for the two cities that happen to be my home state. Not because I picked them because they were my home state, but because they were the colors I wanted. I digress. Is this a big one too? This is a big one too, but it's like half used. So I've got 2.5 big skeins and then 2 smaller skeins, regular size skeins of this stuff. So this is a 6-weight super bulky yarn. It is 100% acrylic. It is super soft. And I'm going to start, I have a crescent moon pattern pulled up. I will link it down below for you all. It's on Ravelry. It's free. But I'm going to start with that, and then we'll see what I have left for the sun one. Because I don't know how big this is going to turn out. I don't know if y'all heard that, but Gidget is coming down the stairs. Come on. Here she is. Hello. Alright, progress update. Using the like jumbo skein that was like half used up, I have gotten this far on the crescent moon. It's not very big in comparison. However, I have 2 big skeins and 2 small skeins. If I have to buy more of this, I really can. I'd rather not, but I can. What I'm gonna do is, because I have an equal amount, is for like a sun one, I think I'm just gonna find a nice circle one that I like a pattern on. And we'll probably just make the backside single crochet circles. And then see what I have left over and use that to finish and decide the size of the moon. That's the working plan right now anyway. So I have to pick out which pattern I'm gonna do. Sun. Happens to also just be wanting to be involved in this shot. So there we go. We're gonna try this again. I made this last night, but it's not giving sun vibes. So we're adding some twisted French to hopefully improve the sun vibes. And you need 2 things for this. You need consistent length. That's this for me. I can do this for you. So tighten that down just a tick. Okay. And then you need a number. I picked 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12. And then you slip stitch that. And then you slip stitch into the next stitch. You can get your hands to operate this early in the morning. And then I just give them a little yank. And we got some fringe. And I am just going around because when I did this, we have got a nice ridge here because I did back loops only, and I got a nice ridge here. So I'm thinking I'm going to add 2 layers of the fringe. This is like, if I held it up to the star, which I don't want to pick up right now because it's huge and wildly overstuffed and pain, it's like the same body size. It's just not the same as like the outermost points of the star size. But yeah. So that's our sun progress. And then this is the moon so far, which is pretty much like if I lay this on top of the sun, it's almost the same size. I'm going to do the fringe on the sun here. I bought 2 more of these little ones at Walmart this morning whilst I was getting my groceries for the week. And I'm going to do the fringe on both rows, and then whatever's left, we're going to make a big old crescent moon. But I got the circle and everything sewed shut last night. I don't have anything on the back, just decreases. And in the pattern, I'm gonna link these like ridges, spiral. Mine didn't, and I don't know if it's because I slip stitched chained one at the end of every row. So I kept everything lined up instead of letting it drift, or what happened there. I just kind of looked at the stitches and was like, oh, I can do both of these because it was half double crochets and front post double crochets for the ridge, and perhaps did not read in detail enough what all the rest of the instructions said. My bad. It works for what I want it to do. So I'm going to try get this done, and I will give you an update. Maybe when I finish this fringe, but obviously definitely once the moon is done. Alright, I am going to give you a progress update, and then, because it's 12:07, even though that's not what you're reading, I promise you that's what it says, I have finished half. I finished the front, and I do definitely think that helps the sunbed, and then you'll need to spar on the other round. But I did, kind of took a bit of the string and ran it around the edges, and it does make it look more stuffed, and perhaps I did overstuff it, but oh well. I'm gonna go eat lunch. This is what's left of that skein, and then I have the 2 new ones I bought today. So I would like to have both of these pillows done by the end of today. I foolishly thought I could finish at least one of them yesterday, and I guess I technically finished the sun one yesterday, but now I'm adding things to it. I digress. Lunchtime. Alright. Update. I am on. Like, you guys are under the bed, and I'm over here. So there's more room over here. And our reference piece is large. So I have ended up adding a 3rd round to this. So here's our sun for reference. So there's 3 rounds here of twisted fringe. I got in back loop onlys for the transitions for the side, and then there were 5 rounds of single crochet on the side here. So I ended up working it into the 3rd round. And he's got some nice fringy sunny goodness. And like on his own, would I say sun? No. But in context, with this guy and this guy, can I do it? Do I have the power? And my fortune cookie. Or Pac-Man. So, set those down. This is how our moon turned out. Which, like, honestly, is going to be a great, like, lap pillow. Just see if I can't make y'all a little shorter. Whee! You're shorter now. Congratulations. I chopped you off at the knees. Hope your knees are as shitty as mine, so that was a bonus and not a terrible, terrible thing I've done. See? He sits quite nice on my lap. It's also a great headpiece. And, like, is also going to be really good as, like, a neck pillow. So, multi-used Pac-Man here. And, yeah. I mean, when he's actually properly stretched out, he looks more moon-like, but he squishes so well. So, the overwhelming urge to add a giant eyeball on this is there. And so, like I said earlier, I bought 2 extra 5-ounce skeins this morning. And this is what I have left. I'd say this is about a third of one of those skeins. So, I used the rest of what I had and one of the skeins to add these 2 layers, the outer 2 layers of fringe on here. And then I finished this. And I had to open the last skein by about that many single crochets. Maybe 20. Like, really? Really? So as long as I had opened that last skein. Because you're the kind of person who opens a skein and uses like a foot of yarn and then tries to return it. I hate you. And I hope karma finds you. Okay? Okay. Glad we had this chat. Anyway, so then I decided, why not add more of this? Because this fringe takes up a decent amount of yarn, and it's fiddly and annoying to do, but the end result is very satisfying, and like, I'm just going to be doing this. So, I will, I'm going to lay these down and kind of get you guys an overhead shot so you can see what I've done. All right, so as we can see, here are all 3 of them. Pull these out into the light a little bit more. So, like I said, I know that the star is wildly overstuffed. It's an older project, but I think having all 3 of these together is going to be quite nice. So, yeah. I don't know what's next, but you will find out once I do. I do have a new project. I am going to make this freaking amazing butterfly cardigan that I saw and have been obsessed with since I saw it. So on hers, you can see she's got the brown outline, pink insides, and white accents for the traditional monarch butterfly kind of effect. We're going to do ivory as our brown. I'm going to use this variegated yarn for the like main body color. And then our white highlights will actually be in this, which is Big Twist Soft Purple. And I was like, I don't want to use this because I don't have very much, and I don't think that's going to be enough. I have 2 more freaking skeins. So, we're in a party. I think I'm going to go ahead and just make the largest size, because if it's oversized, I'm not going to complain. But I feel like if I make the medium one, because I am a naughty fiber artist, and I could not give less of a fuck, and I never do a gauge swatch. I don't want to risk my gauge being too tight and doing the medium one and it not fitting. So this is the plan. I have to print out the pattern. I'm going to watch the YouTube video that she includes with the pattern, and then we're gonna get started on this. I'm very excited. Progress check. This is where I left off last night. I would say I got, I think it's like 30-ish, 20, 30-ish rows in the midway point. It is a little short yet, but I can also add a cuff on the end, and I probably will, because I think this is going to be, like, this is the front panel, or the back panel only, and I can wrap it around my wrist. Like, it's tight, granted, but just saying, double this, it's going to be big. I can add a cuff. So the length of the sleeves is wibbly wobbly. I'm just, the only other thing I'm concerned about is I knew it was going to be, I don't want to say, like, short on me. Probably going to be, like, the correct length on me, but I prefer my stuff longer. Just because I do. So, well, I really can't problem solve that until I have, a cardigan I can try on and see how it fits. first. So I just got to keep going on this. I would like to finish the back panel today. I don't know how feasible that is, but we'll see. All right, just a quick update. If I'm not getting this panel done today, first and foremost, but this is the bottom over here, swoops up and then goes back down. Excuse me. So I have worked all the way to the upmost point on the bottom there. So I just have to, you know, magic transition and then have the other half done, but no, I actually have to do it. Again, I can see the, like, differences there. I don't know if you guys can see it, but the difference in the dye lots. But again, as I zoom this back out, it's not as noticeable through the camera lens for me, so hopefully it's not as noticeable in the video. But yeah, I'm really happy with this. I am happy with this purple I picked. I do think the true ideal would be if I could flip the purple and the cream, the ivory, whatever. But I still like this. I still think it's going to be really cute. And I was worried when I was working like this chunk here that it wasn't going to be wide enough, like arm span wise. And it might not be, but I think I love me a cuff. So if I throw cuffs on the end of this, I think it's going to be perfect. And it actually ended up longer than I was expecting to. I did actually measure and verse it against the gauge that is in the pattern, and my gauge is slightly bigger, so that works out for me. But yeah, I'm definitely not finishing this tonight. All right, so it's lunchtime, and I'm gonna go do that. But I have reached the point of, as you can see here, it starts to curve up. So I've reached the point where I have to start doing the decreases on this side. So I finished the back panel. It's upside down. There we go. Ta-da! So, as you can see, it's definitely long enough. And I do think I will be able to put like a nice average cuff on this, which is all I want in life. So, there's that. I do have to make, obviously, both front panels. I did go ahead and add around the edges, you know, nice round of single crochet, because that's what the instructions tell you to do. I keep going the wrong direction. The pattern does say for the size large, which is the one I made, that once you have all three panels, you might have to add like a couple rows to make like the shoulder wide enough so that it hangs down low enough, which I might have to do. Let me see if I can't lower y'all down a little bit so you can see the length here, because it only hits like right here, and usually I have my cardigans go all the way under my butt. So I might add on to the shoulder, but even if this ends up being just a shorter cardigan, I am okay with that. This camera does show much better the difference in the dye lots. But, you know, as I back away, I don't think it's really that bad. So that is what this is looking like. I am not, absolutely not, under any circumstances, making the two front panels and putting it together and having a wearable item by Sunday. It is Thursday. It's just not going to happen. I could push this video to the 31st, but I don't want to. I don't. So I'm not going to. So this will come out this Sunday, and at the beginning of the video that comes out in December, you will see this finished product. I'm actually going to set this aside for a little bit because I have never had any tapestry project I've done where I've then had to do it again. And I can tell you right here, right now, there is nothing in this life I want less than to tapestry crochet this piece again, let alone twice, and half, but twice. But I will get there. But I'm going to take a couple day break. I'm going to get this video together. I'm going to get it out to you guys so you can watch it. And then after I've had a little mental space, we will come back and do the front panels. So this is the end of this video. I will have a link in the description to my Ko-fi and to the file I'll have up for the Gavle Goat Bag. The file will include a list of the yarns, all the colors I used. It will have the gauge, which I believe was 4 rows and 4 stitches. Square is a 1x1 inch square. And then it will have both the charts as well as links to the stitch fiddle version of the chart, if that is something that works better for you to use. Yeah, so thank you guys for joining me for this video. I will see you in the next video, which again should be the end of December. If you have time, if you have the inclination, you know, and want to do the YouTube things, the liking, the commenting, the subscribing, I appreciate all of it. And yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.